Hey friends, welcome to script.info. My name is Rizwan Khan and I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel. Here in this video, we are going to learn how we can deploy a React.js application or any JavaScript based application which runs on a server, right? So I mean any node based application or Express based application, you can follow the same tutorial. Or you can subscribe to this channel if you want to become a full stack developer, if you want to learn a lot of new things in the front end as well as in the back end. So I have created a lot of videos for both front end and back end technology, so you can subscribe to this channel and hopefully you'll love it. So let's continue to our tutorial. So here let me close this tab, and what we are going to need, so we need a React.js project. So in my previous videos, I have created a web messenger and this is a React application. So I'm going to use a git bash over here. So you can also use git bash or you can use a different terminal. So let me first increase the font size so you can see it in a better way. Okay, now you can see I have a web messenger project. So I have created this in my project in my previous React.js and Firestore video series. So you can also watch that, right? So let's first thing I would like to suggest you, if you want to use so first thing I would like to suggest you also use this git bash. It will be easy for you and you can download this git bash from this official website git-scm.com/downloads. Okay, so it is available in 3 different variants: Mac, Windows and Linux. Okay, so just download the Windows version, and no need to Mac users and Linux users to download because they have already a beautiful terminal and they can use all of these commands. Okay, whatever I'm going to use in this git bash. So git bash allows us to use similar commands which runs on Linux also. Okay, so I'm going to basically use Linux commands. Okay, and that's git, right? So let's run our application first. npm start, and this application is running. Okay, wait for the moment, and it's running. So we are going to use DigitalOcean. That's a cloud-based server, and I'm also using DigitalOcean from a long time, and trust me, it's really very good in terms of service, in terms of performance, and in terms of infrastructure. Okay, so we are going to use DigitalOcean. So here we have Git web messenger, and this application is running perfectly fine. This is a development server. Okay, log in, and then you can do the sign up. Let's log in our user. So use any existing user and password. Log into the application. And this is the home page of the application. There are a couple of users who are maybe learning this tutorial. So okay, that's not an issue. They are using my Firestore database. I kept it as a public, so the credential is already available. That's why they are using my. So I would like to also tell you, do not use my credential, because one day I will delete my Firestore database and you may lose all of your data, right? So yeah, these are the logged in currently maybe the online users. Okay, they haven't logged out from the application. That's why this screen is on. Okay, it's not this tutorial video. We are going to deploy deploy this application. Okay, then let's log out from the application and let's close the development server. So let's press Ctrl C to quit the server, and then clear your terminal. Okay, so what we have to do first, we need to create a repository in the GitHub. So that would be easy to transfer your files and everything from your local system to the server, right? So let's do github.com. And here what you need to do, you need to create a repository. So first create an account and then log in, and then click on this plus icon, as you can see, and create a new repository. I already have a repository. I can show you right now. This is React.js Firestore Messenger. So this is the repository I have used in my previous videos. Okay, so okay, for you I'm going to create one more time, that is so you cannot lose yourself. Then let's create a test-web-messenger. This is a repository, and just click on, this is a public repository. Create repository. Now our repository is ready. Now let's go and copy this. Okay, now back to your terminal. So if you're using a create react app command, then you may already have a git initialize project. So if you already have git initialized project, then you don't need to do this step. You can simply skip git init. So you can see I have got a message initialize empty git repository. In your case, you may get a message like reinitialize git repository. Now we have to connect our local project with the git. So we'll say git remote add origin, and then this copy this URL. Okay, now paste over here. So let's hit enter, and now we have connected this project with our GitHub account repository, and now you can do a git status. You can track your files. So these are the files we need to push in our repository. So you can see I have a file called git ignore, right? So this is an important file. If you do code if you open your project in your code editor, you can navigate to this. So we have this git ignore. So click on this git ignore, and they are already given by the React.js. So this is a create React app setup, and this is a node modules folder. So we are ignoring this node modules folder. This is a library folder, and we don't want to push all of our libraries in the repository because it will make a size very huge. So like whatever things you want to ignore, you can keep that name over here. So we are ignoring node modules here. Now let's do git add. So you have to add these things, okay, to your repository. So to for that we have to do git add, and if you want to add everything, use dot command. If you want to add file wise, then you have to do git ignore, right? Git ignore, and then hit enter. One by one you can add your file in the stages. So if you do again git status, then you can see there is git ignore is not mentioned because we have already stashed. Okay, we have already added in the process of putting it in the repository. So let's clear it again, and then git status, and then git add dot. It will add everything, right? Now it is gonna add. Okay, it's done. Now what we are going to do after that, git add, not git add, then we'll do commit -m. You can put a message over here. So like it's your first commit or whatever you have done. Like it's like versioning tool, right? So every push will be a new version of the project. So here I'm gonna say initial commit for web messenger, initial commit of web React.js web messenger project. Now okay, so message is done, commit, it is committed. Now git push -u origin master. So we are going to put it in the master branch, then do git push -u origin master, hit enter again. Now it's completed. Now back to your repository and reload your GitHub page, and you're gonna see you have files whatever you have in your local system, like public src git ignore, but not node modules. So you can see there is no node modules available. So this part is done, right? Now let's go back to your VS. Now we are going to create account in the distillation. So I already have account in distillation. So here I'm going to log in. So you just need to create, and also you have to add the payment process, because to create an account in the distillation, it is important to mention your payment details. Don't worry, it is not going to deduct any amount until and unless you use it. And I'm also going to give you some links, so you can use and you can get a free $100 in your distillation account. Okay, so use my referral, and you can find the referral in my website webscript.info, and here you can see the recent tab. Okay, and you'll also find this link in the description of this video. So it is like I have created this post today and it is yet not completed, how to deploy your React.js application in distillation. So the first step, create an account in distillation server and use this link. So if you use this link, you'll get $100 credit in your account. Okay, and I will also get little benefit from you, right? So yeah, it's not no cheating anything, right? So let's go back your distillation, and this is my project name, WebScript. Under the WebScript, I can create multiple droplets. Now the question is, what is droplet? So again, the droplet is like your personal system, whatever the system you're using, And the thing is, you can install an OS in the droplet. So the droplet is just like a normal system where you can do anything whatever you do in your normal system. Okay, so this is our web script. This is our domain. Okay, sorry, this is our project web script, and we are going to create a droplet. So create a droplet. Okay, so then there are a couple of operating system options. So I'm gonna use Ubuntu, and I'm very familiar with Ubuntu. So you can choose any one of them if you're familiar, or else you can go like me. Choose a plan, the basic plan I'm going to take, and the cost. So it is going to cost you $5 minimum per month. So this is the minimum cost of plan. So if you use this referral link, you'll get $100 credit and you can use it, right? So $5 per month. And next thing what you have to do, you have to choose a data center. So there are a couple of options, and choose the nearest one. So Bangalore, like I'm from India, so this is the right choice for me. VPC network, so I haven't used, it's like private networking on this droplet. So like you can log in privately or visit privately, anything like that. So right now I have no idea about it, so I'm not gonna select or I'm going to do anything, right? So okay, let's continue IPv6 and all, so let's leave it blank. And there are options like how you can log in your droplet. Okay, so there are two options, SSH key and password. So the password is a little less secure, so let's use the more secured way, SSH key. So we have to create SSH key first. So if you select password, then that's you have to do, you don't have to do anything, just use the password given by the distillation, then that's it. But we are going to use SSH key, that is the more secured way. Now let's let's add SSH key. As you can see, I have options. Okay, and you are not going to have these options because I have created SSH keys many times. Okay, so I'm going to create a new SSH key. And for Windows user, they need to download a software called Putty so they can create SSH key. Okay, so as you can see, so to download Putty, and you can see this is the Putty link, so you can download Putty from this. So let's open this in a different tab, and here you can see the options, like it's a 32-bit and 64-bit. So I'm going to download 64-bit. Click on the 64-bit. It's a Windows installer. That's it. After downloading, you're going to have something like that. So let's download folder, and you're going to have this setup Putty, and just simply click and couple of times next, and that's it. So this will be installed. After installing Putty, what you have to do, you have to search Putty gen. Okay, so this is a key generator, Putty gen. Now click Putty gen, and you have to create a key. You have to create SSH key so we can log in within the droplet. Okay, so let's click on this generate, and also don't forget to select this one. So type of key to generate, it is RSA key. Let's click on this generate, and let's move your mouse over this surface so it will create some randomness in your key. Okay, after creating this key, now let's copy this key and copy and paste in your this part of the okay, and give it a name. So you can give it any name. Let's give a name, something related, web hyphen this droplet. You can create more application where you can add more web applications within this droplet, but so just it is not important to give it a name like whatever project you have. You can give it any name like SSH key hyphen give it a name like 1 2 3 4 5. So this is my name. You can give any name. Okay, add SSH key, and you can see SSH key 1235 is selected. Okay, now again go back to your Putty gen key generator. Okay, and now let's save both keys, so public key and private key. Let's save public key, and you can save anywhere. Let's go to your desktop, or let's go to your project folder. What is that folder? Okay, you can save anywhere, it doesn't matter, it is related to your local system. Okay, so let's go desktop, and let's save on the desktop. I'm going to save it on the desktop, so I'm going to give it a name like SSH key hyphen 1 2 it's a public key, right? Public SSH key public, sorry, save public key, right? So click on save public key. Let's select desktop, and let's save it. So say SSH key hyphen public, save. Now also save the private key. So are you sure you want to save this key without a passphrase to protect it? So I will show you. Here it is a key passphrase. You can add a passphrase, anything. It is not password. The main thing is your key that is going to allow you to log in the droplet. So you can skip, or you can also add a passphrase if you are interested. So I'm going to leave it blank. So are you sure you want to save this without a passphrase to protect it? Or if you want, you can let's add a passphrase. Okay, so let's add anything, passphrase. Now again save your public key one more time and give it a name ssh key hyphen public. Okay, ssh key public, save, overwrite, yes. Now save private key ssh key hyphen private. Now save this one. Okay, so we have saved. Now there is no need to keep this running. Keep generator, close this. Now continue. Let's continue. Add tags, select project. You can also specify a name to your droplet. So let's specify a name like web messenger. Okay, web messenger. And let's create your droplet. You can add a couple of more options like enable backup, so it is going to charge additional. Okay, so yeah, for testing we are not going to select anything else. So it is going to take a little couple of seconds to complete your droplet. Okay, let's wait, and now let's open PuttyGen. So this putty is the one we can by using this we can log in to our droplet. Okay, so there are options like session, and once it is done, we'll copy the IP address of our droplet. So this is ready. Now copy your IP address, droplet IP address. Okay, now come back, putty configuration. Here the session, paste your IP address. Okay, port is 22, and select SSH key, and let's go to connection. Okay, and then SSH, and then auth. Okay, now browse your private key. So we have saved it in our desktop. Okay, so let's go to your desktop, and this is SSH private, right? Let's open it, and also let's go to session again, so we can save our configuration. So give it a name, web hyphen messenger. Now save. So we have saved it, right? Now open. So yes, click on yes, and so the default user of any Linux OS is root. So this is Ubuntu operating system, and the default user is root. So let's do login as a root. Okay, now enter a passphrase. So we have given a passphrase while creating the key. Now we are logged in into the system. Okay, so you can see the root is a user, web messenger is the Ubuntu like operating system name. Okay, you can give any name. ls, this is the Linux command. We have nothing. Now you do who am I. This is all a Linux command, who am I. So it will give you the name of the user. So it's a root user. And here we are going to let's copy one more thing. Let's copy your IP address, and let's browse through the let's go to this, and you can see it's like this site can't be reached, so we have to set up some server, right? So let's go, and so this is the newest OS, and there are a couple of softwares and packages shipped with this OS, and we need to update all of them. So first thing we have to do in any Linux system is apd-get. After the installation, apd-get update, and apd-get upgrade. It is going to take a little time. Okay, and these steps are also mentioned in this. Okay, if you go here, you can see what you have to do. For the Linux user, they simply have to do SSH username and the IP address. That's it. They don't need to install putty. Okay, it's only for the Windows user. And the other steps. So yeah, what we are doing, apd-get update and upgrade. Okay, after that we'll install node and all. We can do a lot of things. Okay, so you can follow this if you're interested. So it is going to take 34 megabyte of your memory. Okay, let's install it. Yes, hit enter. So meanwhile it is loading, we are going to do few things. Okay, let's go to your project, and this is the web messenger project. So we have to generate a build of this application. Right now it is running on the development server, right? So we have to create a build. To create the build, we are going to use a command npm run build. So we are going to create a build of this application. Okay, build version of this application. That will be a smaller version, smallest, without any kind of a space and multiple files. It is going to be just one file, index.html, and couple of .js file as a like bundle or anything. So as you can see, it is also giving a message like creating an optimized production build. So we are creating the build version of this, and the build version of this software is ready, right? So let's go and check your project folder, and here you can see I have a new folder that is a build, and within this folder I have a couple of files like static. So these are CSS and JS file which we have used like in our SRC folder. So they have summed it up and put it in this build folder, and then a couple of files like logo 192.512. So these are the minimum version of our application. Okay, and this is the index.html file. So this is actual file, and this is the main file we can load in our browser, and we can run without any development server and all, right? But to load other files like CSS and JS file, we need to run some servers, and that is the problem. Okay, so we need to run the server. Now let's open this build folder, this index.html file in our browser. So reveal in File Explorer, and we are going to open this index.html without any server or anything else. As you can see, the application is like it's loaded the index.html file, and we are not getting any kind of error in our browser. But because of some files we are not able to load without the server, that's why we are not able to see any output. If you see the source code of this file, you can do Control U, and you can see everything is already available here. This is the minimum HTML file, and these are the file chunk.js and chunk.js again, and .css file. So these files needs to be loaded with the help of a server. Okay, so that's we are going to use the Express server for that. So let's go and install the Express server. This is the build folder, and let's go to your directory, and let's type npm install -f save express. Okay, so this is another website for the Create React app for the development, and you can see you can serve your file with the help of serve, and also you have alternate option, you can use the Express, right? So let's copy this Express setup, copy, and let's go to your file again, Windows file, and let's create a file over here with the name of server.js. Okay, so this is our server.js file, and here we are going to put things. Okay, so this is our Express application. Zoom it, and you can see we have imported the Express path app, and here we are going to have express.static. So as you can see, app.use express.static path dir_name. So that's nothing but web messenger, and then build folder. So it is going to target this build folder. Okay, and then the your request will be obviously a get request, because we are going to load it through the browser, and then request will come, and it is going to send our index.html file, which is available within this build folder. Okay, now let's go and see your Express installation is completed. Now let's run this application. Okay, so we are going to use node server.js, hit enter. So after installing Express, now let's run your application. So this file is actually server.js we have created. Okay, and app will listen to the server port on 9000. So mention already, you can change this port, it's not a problem. So now let's go to your application and type node, and you'll say server.js. Okay, let's hit enter, and hopefully this is running, because it's just node and you can't see any status. So let's go and navigate to port 9000. Okay, localhost 9000, and you can see you are directly in the application because you are a logged in user. Now let's log out, and you can see a login we have, sign up is working fine, login is also working fine, and you can go to any pages, right? So now we are going to specify something like asterisk. Asterisk means accept anything after /, so that like the domain something.com/login/signup. So it is going to accept everything. Right now you are seeing the output fine here, but it will create a problem in the live server. So we have to specify asterisk over here so it will work fine. Okay, now this is running fine. And now let's go back to your application and quit the server. And here you are going to see the git status. So we have created a new file, server.js. We are going to put this file in the production. Okay, so git push. Okay, git add let's server.js. Now hit enter. Now git commit -m message, give a message like new express server created. Now git push. Okay, so our this is push. Now let's go to your terminal. So this is our DigitalOcean droplet. Okay, software connection about. Let's close this connection and let's go to your putty again. Now let's go putty and let's select your web messenger. Now open here, login as a root user, and let's enter the passphrase. Okay, now let's do ls. We have nothing, right? So we are going to first pull the code from the repository GitHub. So let's go and you can see where is our GitHub folder here. So let's code and let's copy this, and now let's go, and here we are going to add. Okay, so this is the path. We are going to do something like git clone and hit enter. So it will clone the web messenger over here. So you can see it's cloned, and now ls again you can see the test web messenger is available here, cd test web messenger ls. So I have all the files except node modules because we have excluded that one, right? So we are going to do npm install and command npm not found. So we haven't installed node yet, so we had to install nodejs. Just go and come here, and we are going to install node using nvm. So nvm is another tool called node virtual manager, so you can install multiple versions of node if you use nvm. So let's copy this line and let's go to your terminal and paste over here. So curl http, just hit enter, and it is downloading nvm from the source. And once download completed, then update your environment. So use this source, otherwise it is not going to work. So let's paste over here this line also, source source and tilde symbol dot profile. So it will update the environment and notify like node is installed. So here you can nvm is installed, sorry. So here you can do nvm ls remote. So it will list all the available node versions in your OS. Okay, so these are the available versions it is listing. So we are going to install the latest version, so v12. So we are going to install the stable one. We'll say nvm install, and we'll say v12. So nvm install v12. Let's hit enter, and it is downloading. Okay, installation is complete. Now you can see node version, and you can see v12.18.3. so this is the right now the default version of node installed in our system. Okay, now let's do again node. So as you can see, I have the server.js file I can run with the help of node in my droplet. So node server.js. Now hit enter, and you can see I have got an error. So find module express. So find module express is not available. Why? Okay, maybe not available. So let's install express. So you can also install in your Ubuntu like DigitalOcean droplet, npm install save express. It's not available because I have we have ignored something, right? Oh, it should be available, right? It is mentioned in the package.json. Okay, over here, so it is not pushed. Okay, yeah, when we are doing get status, so the problem is here, get status, and we haven't pushed this package.json file, we have only pushed server.js file, right? So that's why the problem. Okay, so okay, no problem, we are installing from here. So Express is installed, and now I can use the command node server dot js. Okay, so this is the build folder. It will when we will run server.js, it will select the build folder and execute the files. Okay, and the port this time it will be 9000, and let's go to your IP address. So this is the IP address. This is the IP address of our distillation server. Right now you can see this some errors coming, right? So let's navigate to the port 9000, and you're going to see the application. Okay, so you can see I have some error, no such file or directory, root test web messenger build index.html, and okay, that's a problem. Okay, there is no build folder, man. So we have to do something, we have to push it. Okay, actually we have get status, we have created the build folder. Let's create the build folder. Okay, so this is our web messenger, and sorry, all of my mistakes. So npm run, we'll say build, npm run build, so it is going to create. The problem is you can see if you go to the get ignore file, and here it is mentioned ignore the build folder also. So that's why this ignored the build folder, and I was trying to execute, right? So there was no build folder, that's why. So it is again creating an optimized version of the build in our droplet. So now our build folder is ready. We hopefully this time we can run it. Node server dot js, and now let's navigate, let's reload, and let's party. Okay, so yes, finally it's working after a lot of effort. Login, sign up, we can do the login also. Let's log in web imran@webscript.info, password 123456, log in, and okay, yes, it's working well. Let's we have got everything whatever we have done over here. Okay, and yeah, these are all the chats we have done. So the problem is right now, as you can see, this application is running on port 9000, and this is the IP address of the droplet, right? So the thing is, you have to get a domain and you have to map the domain, and I'm going to tell you how you can map the domain. But still, if you map the domain, then again you have to do something like something.com colon and then port 9000, and you are not going to tell people's like your website is, your domain is like that, and port, it's running on the port 9000. Okay, so it should be like .com, that's it. Okay, or the just IP address. So here we have to do something. We have to use a server which serves on the default port 80. So every like every domain or every IP address serves on by default on the port 80, right? So we have to set up this application on the port 80. So for that we have to install another server, nginx. Let's quit this. Okay, and we are going to install apt-get install, and we'll say nginx. So this is a server, right? Nginx will allows you to run different types of application. With the nginx also allow you to run PHP based application, and it is very suitable for PHP application. It gives a very powerful performance compared to the Apache server. Okay, so let it be installed. The installation is complete. Now we have to do some configuration for nginx. Okay, let's clear it, and let's navigate to the configuration files, folders and all. So we'll do cd/etc. Okay, if you do ls hyphen, if you do ls, you're not going to see test messenger, right? See, let's go back. ls, so this is the current file project folder, test web messenger, and if you do ls hyphen a, it will show all the hidden files. So these are basically the configuration files of droplet. So you can see we have installed nvm, we have npm, we have ssh. So we are going to browse a folder which is available in this root directory, like you see ls, and there are something like etc, and there you can find the nginx configuration files, folders and all. Okay, so this is etc available over here. So let's cd/etc nginx and then sites. This sounds good. Okay, sites available, so available websites basically. So these are the sites configuration. Let's hit enter, ls, and you can see the default. So this is a default configuration given by the nginx itself when we are installing it. Okay, if you want to host multiple websites in the single droplet, you have to create configuration something similar to the default. Okay, but right now I'm going to use the default. If you want to create another one, then you just copy the content of default into the another folder, like let's say xyz.com or example.com. So let's modify, edit this default first. vi is the default text editor in the Ubuntu system. Okay, vi default, and here you can see the listen to the et. This is the default server, and again this is the default host : default server. If you scroll a little bit, and you can see it is telling you the root folder. This is the var www html. So whatever file if you put within the HTML folder, normal HTML file or PHP file, you can access like if you can access with this IP address. So these are the default index given by the nginx setup. Server underscore name. So here you can specify the name of the server, right? In my case, I'm keeping it underscore because I don't have any domain. If you have a domain, you can keep it like example.com, right? Or xyz.com, anything, but I will keep it underscore. And let's leave everything as it is, and let's quit this file. Okay, and let's go to your browser, and let's go to your droplet IP address again. Okay, where is it? Here it is. Let's reload it, and let's it's not running because we have closed it. Now this is the IP address, right? Now let's hit enter, and you have got your default file of nginx server. Welcome to nginx. Okay, once you mapped your domain, then you are going to see the same file, welcome to nginx, and we are not using any kind of port 8000 or 9000, so we are going to set up this one, right? So this is welcome to nginx. Now let's go, and here you are going to see again back to our post, and the things is here we have to set up a proxy server, right? So when we will run our application on some port, and when user hit that IP address or that domain, we will pass the user to the local host of the application. Okay, so let's run our application again, and let's cd tilt cd test web messenger ls and node server.js. Okay, so our application is running. So let's hit it, localhost 9000, and you can see this is our application. And what we are going to do, let's open a new session. I'm not going to, if you close this terminal, then your application will be closed. Okay, let's start a new session, and here is the host name again. So let's use the web messenger and start it. Use the passphrase, sorry, use the username root and the passphrase. Now here we are logged in again, so you can also check it over here, like, so these two are the terminal of the same OS. Okay, same droplet. So this is where we are running our system, node server.js. So it is running localhost 9000. Here we can access it, CURL, client URL, http : and we'll say localhost 9000. So as you can see, we have got HTML actually, you see it. Hit enter, and you can see what we have: doc type, HTML. So all the files whatever we have seen in our system. Okay, so it's working fine, we can use it, right? Now let's yes, now we are going to set up we are going to close this node server.js file once again, and let's navigate to the nginx folder. It's etc and nginx and sites available, and then we are going to get a default. So vi default, hit enter. Now this is our configuration file for the domain name setups and all. So here I'm going to comment this line. So this, as you can see, this is the /. So this is basically the domain name or IP address /. So let's comment this line. Let's press. So if you want to edit, if you want to modify this file, you have to press I forget to tell you the first time. Now let's comment this location and all. So use hash to comment it line by line. So this commented. Okay, now let's go to your post again and let's copy this. So if you want to pass, copy, and let's go to your application again, and here you are going to say paste it, right? So we have pasted this. So now again the /, if someone hit that URL or domain, it is going to pass that proxy to this localhost 8080. Now let's modify that localhost 8080. So it is serving on the port 9000, right? So let's make it 9000. Okay, now give it a comment. Now let's quit this file. Okay, so this is done. You are done with the nginx server setup. Now test your like nginx server configuration is successful or not. For that you have to do nginx -t, so it will run a test, and you can see the syntax is okay, test is successful. Okay, now run again node server.js. Sorry, this is the wrong directory. So let's navigate to the home directory, tilde symbol, c test web messenger, node server.js. Now this is running. Okay, so let's run your application again. So instead of 9000, let's remove this. Sorry, not this one, this one. Okay, let's remove 9000 and all, and let's hit enter. And this is again IP address. Okay, something wrong. Okay, yeah, once you are let's quit this application again, and once you're done with nginx configuration, you have to reload the configuration. You have to do nginx you have to do systemctl, that means system control, and then you have to specify the operation. So reload nginx. So let's, yeah, it's done. Now let's run the application node server.js. And this is node server.js is running. Now let's hit enter, reload. Okay, and yes, we are done. We are not using any port. Now if you map this IP address with your domain, then you can definitely able to load this page. Login working fine, sign up is also working fine. So this whole application is working fine, but still we have a problem right now. Once we close this terminal, this droplet, then we are not able to access our application on our port, because if we close this, then it will also close, it will stop running our node server. Okay, so for that we have to use something which makes our application run forever. So we have to use something like we have a tool, a software called PM2, process manager 2. So let's install that. npm we are going to install that thing globally. So npm install -g, that means global installation, PM2. Let's hit enter. So installation of PM2 is completed and it is installed globally. Now we are going to test it. So PM2 type list. So it is going to list all the existing running application. So right now we don't have any running application. Okay, so we are going to run our first application. So PM2 and start. Instead of using node, we are going to use PM2 start, and the file name is server.js. Cool. PM2 start server.js, and you can also give it a name to this application. So let's give a name like web-messenger. Okay, that is optional. Now let's run it, and you can see you have run your first application, web messenger. Namespace is default, version 1. You can see the memory consumed by this application is 26 megabyte. User is root. Okay, so all of these things, and you don't need to like worry about if you close this terminal, then your application will be closed. Now let's run it again, reload your application, and you see it is even faster than your node. Okay, So this is how we are going to deploy. This is how we deploy our React.js or any server Express or JavaScript based application. So this is login, this is sign up, everything is working fine. Okay, now the thing, let's close this terminal and now test it. Let's do exit first thing, exit. So it will power off your system, and also close this one. Let's exit. It will shut down your system actually. No, not shut down, it will just disconnect your session. It's already disconnected. Let's close it. Now let's reload it, and it's even running after the closing terminal also. Okay, now another thing about the domain, that's the, you may worry about that. So what you have to do, you can see I have a domain webscript.info. You have to do the same thing, create, and you can see the domain name DNS. Just buy a domain from somewhere like GoDaddy, HostGator, or anywhere wherever you are comfortable. Just buy a domain and add your domain. So give it your domain name, let's say something .com. Okay, so this is your domain. Select your project. So I have only one project, WebScript, right now. So let's project, then add your domain. Okay, and what you have to do, you have to add NS name server configuration to the to the place where from where you are getting the domain, right? For example, GoDaddy and all. So a tag, so a host name. So whatever the domain we have given, we want to use the same. So for that you have to add the @ symbol, and will direct to, so let's choose your droplet. So we have created web messenger. So whenever someone type this domain like nginx.hcv.com, then it will redirect, it will navigate to this web messenger droplet, and you will see this application. Okay, cool. So you have to do, and then create the record. That's it. You have to get your DNS, NS distillation.com 123, paste in the GoDaddy, HostGator, or the place like from where you are getting it. Okay, so guys, this is done for this video. We have successfully deployed our React.js application, and it is working fine. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to give me a comment so I will get to know like how good this video is. Okay, you can do one thing, just comment, give me give this video a rating like 3 4 1 2 3 4 5. Give any rating that I will treat as a feedback. Okay, thanks.